third map, and we'll find out all the details here as we head on to Ancient, gentlemen. I mean, we don't really have a lot of data to go by, so what you're seeing is some first-hand research being placed on this map as Extra Salt start on that T side.
Absolutely. Eager to see what they've got in store for us. Obviously, they do pick this map up, so they should be relatively well prepared for it. We do know Extra Salt is a team that is well drilled, good coaching structure, good IGL. Let's see what they've come up with.
Got 2 smoke grenades. That's going to be the first one over into snipers, and then one into A site. So potentially a crunch into Donut. But the flashbang, the counter flash from X&S, absolutely perfect. And Maluk and PRT just shut one arm down. And now Marky and OC scrambling to recover the bomb, scrambling into Donut. But I don't think they're going to find their just desserts this time around.
Certainly not. It's certainly a jam-filled Donut at right now. They're not getting through. It's just completely clogged. They don't have any bomb, so they're just stranded over here at the A bomb site. And for what? They've got nothing. They're just going to have to try and fight their way out. And it looks like all exits are completely covered by Team 1, so this is going to be super difficult for them. Malbs looking sharp again. Takes down Mark in. It's all on OC to do the impossible. Has a P250 though.
Continuing the Donut analogy, I mean, that round's absolutely fried at this point. See if it does get dusted off at the end. There's one frag left to find for the CTs, and that, I mean, considering there's no data in officials to go off, that looked like a counter-strat pistol if I've ever seen one. An easy shutdown from Team 1, who had a 3-man crossfire in towards middle and the perfect flashbang at the ready.
Yeah, look at that. 3 blind T's, 3 blind mice stumbling into their death.
See how they run.
I mean, they didn't. They just got put down. Team 1, gotta love that. Even the dualies as well coming out from Pacer as well, and I'd say that was probably put towards Cheater. We've seen some of these high-capacity pistols being utilized in a more aggressive stance, and now PRT going to be tested out, but he's got the MP9. He's done a lot of damage. Maluk's is going to shut it down pretty quickly with the M4, and Sonic just looking to get it over and done with at this stage.
That was just a meat grinder. And some good opportunity there to farm some cash as well. But this is where Extra Salt are going to come in with the AKs. We're going to have a first peek at what they've got prepared on that T side.
Good start for Team 1 though. Relatively minimal losses, if there are any. They were rewarded with a little bit of SMG loss bonus. Oh wow, a kill reward. Like anything that is getting lost at the moment, it's my brain cells as we get deeper into this all-nighter.
Pacer pushing up. Finds Sonic and still dancing around the edge of the smoke. The flashbang comes forward. Look at this lead coming out. The SMG is just jumping at them. But still, at the end of the day, it means that Team 1 all of a sudden just down to pace up. Maybe a bit too over-aggressive as the rest of Extra Salt, Fang and Marke as well, able to pick off some of the counter marks, and just like that.
It's like I was watching Counter-Strike 1.3 again. Everything was accurate mid-air. You know, they were just jumping through. You don't see anything like that. But we did.
I feel bad for the observer. Everything just happened in 3 seconds. 3 people flying through a smoke. Pace up. Trying to stay active. Makes his way into Donut. Trying to work out what's going on. Putting himself in a decent position to try to catch rotations through middle. Listen out for what's going on. But bomb dropped over towards B. Just incentivizes Extra Salt to slowly make their way up. Put boots on the ground in the B site and establish themselves in a nice little post plant. We'll see if Pacer does start to get a wriggle on somewhere.
Nothing on offer for him right now. He's caught in the donut. And they're going to make their way into the B bomb site here. Extra Salt. Need to be cautious though. A lot of angles to check on this bomb site. They are just going to get that bomb down though. So at least secure the cache. Pacer's going to have to make his way through and try and get something here in transition as they make their way into the post plant.
Might be caught off timing by Fang, but Fang misses a couple of shots. Pace is able to recalibrate. Just going to reset the scenario right now to try to fake out the death cam, but making a lot of noise that Marque should be able to hear. He's playing from Ruins. Molotov doesn't really go off here from Pacer. He's just going to clear out Secret. He's got time, and, well, he draws out the Molotov at the wrong time, unfortunately. Marque is able to pick that one up pretty easily.
That looked like a little bit of packet loss or something like that you see sometimes. Okay.
It's like a jumping castle.
Yay!
Either way, the round bounced back in favour of Extra Salt.
Yeah, that's true.
Pass into Donut as well. JT
Oh.
catches Maluk off timing. And that's one of the M4's loss, which is actually not ideal considering that Team 1 have forced up into this.
Absolutely.
That said, Mobs does actually go for a bit of a mid-round play into through Cheetah, so he clears out B lane, B connector, and now rerouting back to A, where PRT spots out lots of action, and unfortunately he's caught the worst of it.
Pace up on his horse over here on the rotation in towards the back of that A site.
Going to try and make their pass into the A-bomb site now. They've locked things off in Temple with that smoke, and JT is going to secure the plant, but Pacer's just going to wait things out. I don't think actually he's going to go for this. He's made the call. Going to back off, going to try and save their weaponry as Extra Salt get themselves into a strong position. Don't take any losses either. I can't see any damage being done either. That's a strong round from Extra Salt, something they needed on that T side.
Few solid entries, just also a bit of blistering pace, catching Maluk off guard, and as a result, just like that, Team 1 kind of getting shut out of the round. PRT feels like he needs to go make a bit of a play with the CZ, doesn't want to be stuck over here, could be crunched on from Donut, could be crunched on from A long, unfortunately just caught in transition at the worst time. So, scoreline's tied once again to a piece, and Team 1 do have to concede a bit of an eco over here. Even though they do have 2 rifles and an MP9, can't really justify forcing up one more time.
Yeah, no utility really on that belt either. It's just what they saved from the last round. So no further investment being made. And no aggression off the back of that either. They're just happy to place this emphasis towards this A-bomb site. They got what they needed. Marky goes down and PRT
Wow.
is facing... They go 1 for 1 there. And this is an interesting round given there's no real extra investment from Team 1. They find themselves in a situation at a slight advantage. Not really an advantage though, but a slight advantage in terms of numbers.
And Pacer just on the off angle, just spotting the cross into Donut as well. XNS in a pretty strong position over here at Ruins, just utilizing that angle with an MP9, which is quite strong. Sonic might be crawling into Pacer's view range in just a little bit. Pacer wide swing as well. JT, bomb's been sorted out, has to drop the smoke. So 50 seconds, still time for Extra Salt to rotate with. Luke just seeing if you can find any cheeky picks over here. PRT just heads down right now as the rifles have the crossfire working, and just like that, Team 1. That's why you save the rifles over into the next one.
They had the read. They had the adjustments coming through as well, and I'm not surprised to see the pause come out either, as we do need to break things down ourselves. But, I mean, that was great information being gathered there in mid, particularly from Pacer. He called that rotation through, so they were in position. There wasn't really too much to hold on to for Extra Salt. They didn't really find the opening that they needed, and they were just completely shut out there. So you can see Team 1, they're starting to fire on all cylinders, and we know Extra Salt, they are slow starters, but I feel as though they're extra slow in this match.
Still early days just yet, and you have to concede that Team 1, you've got a couple of players that can hit some nasty shots. It is a technical pause, but I was advised this time around it actually wasn't a router changeout, so
No.
should hopefully be a little bit quicker than last time.
Well, don't panic, boys. Good news is you can always add more salt later. But if you add too much now, you're going to spoil everything.
Just going to savour the flavour on that one.
Oh boy. Well, back into the action, thank God. I got nothing.
Speaking of saviour,
Savior.
the clock is ticking down. We're going to go back into the action now. Team 1, on the back of that shutout, have some utility to deal with. Let's just see what they do.
Yeah, this could be the reset round. Sonic tanked a lot of damage, a lot of Molotovs, HE nades going down, and some key choke points. It's a good opener from Marky though, and that creates a bit of a domino effect. You can see Maluk as well as Pacer just trying to get back over towards that A side of the map, but Extra Salt, it's not a full commitment from them just yet. Maluk's going to punish that initial peak to come out, and Fang second-guessing himself about whether to commit in further. Maluk actually going to take matters into his own hands, maybe ill-advised there.
Was not expecting that at the end of the day.
Luke just trying to get that information. That was what he's needed for his team. Malbs is also just doing the same. We saw teams do this earlier on. It's going to come to a head, though. JT takes 2, not the one he wanted, though. And Fang is also able to find that CT rotation caught as well. And it's all down to XNS, who is over at this B-bomb site, MP9. So he really has to find something in the upgrades. He's actually not going to go through Chitter to do so. So he's not going to find anything. And hopefully he can catch a tee off in the rotation, but they're going to head over towards that A-bomb site. That bomb will go down. They've got such advanced positions as well. He might be able to slip the net through A-long, but that's still a while off.
You always hear about the FNS master plan, but have you heard about the XNS master plan, where he wins a 1v3?
It's got the X factor, that's for sure.
I mean, he might have slipped the net, but he doesn't have a kit, doesn't really have anything else beyond that. I think he's just looking for exits at this point in time.
There's a lot of CTs dead around that bomb, though.
Yeah,
very real possibility
but time's ticking away.
Yeah, he's just playing for exits.
He's going to pretend he's a bit of a plant and maybe go for a plant-based peak over here, but...
No one steal that Steam group name, by the way. As soon as I get home, I'm starting plant-based peak.
No.
It's the future. Sustainable.
I don't know if this pace is sustainable, though. JT cleans up too. I mean, they needed that extra salt. City economy still good for another buy, though. Not going to have the utility to do the aggressive pushes that they want. However, Pacer actually not opting to go through to Donut this time. So going to try and lock mid down from afar.
The RT. Lost 72 Harry Potters to a Molotov. Not a great start. Extra salt. It's interesting, you know, we weren't seeing many of the EU teams really that aggressively contest this left side of the map over towards A very much, but Extra Salt seemed to place a premium on that. Really trying to put pressure and get control of these extremities rather than trying to force their way into middle early on. Instead, opting to secure those extremities before they work back in towards Cheetah or Donut.
Just on that point too, we really didn't see an emphasis on A at all from a lot of these European teams on T side.
Yeah, just a couple of executes, really.
It really was just that pop, flash, and go. Get that position close to the site, and that's it. Just bust on. But B, it was certainly a lot more executes and a lot more emphasis on B from the Euros. But this is where it differs in NA.
Round has slowed down, 50 seconds left. They've taken Cheetah control, but it's still very, very difficult to push into Ruins. Orp also in the hands of the A site. Looks like the extra member of Pace is going to start floating across. Molly onto Molbs, who's just going to smoke himself off for now. 35 seconds. This has to be an A-site play. You can't go into B with limited information. And Maluk is starting to make this pressure.
Beautiful.
And Donut flashbangs coming forward, though. Not going to push him off the angle. He's going back for more. Wants to have another crack, but JT says no.
Going to get onto this A-bomb site, though, so it's all going to be on PR2, who has that CZ. Fang's going to clean up the rotation as well, but he doesn't prevent the plant, and it all capitulates just like that. So what looked to be time pressure on Extra Salt, they navigate quite successfully.
Yeah, nice multi-frag from Fang, really controlling the rotations excellently. That's the hard reset on Team 1. Even if they do buy up in this next round, it's not going to be pretty. We've talked about a couple of teams on the CT side who don't have great money, such as AGO. Don't have access to those double orbs, don't have access to the full utility that you need to be able to secure certain parts of the map. Apply utility pressure. That's going to be the situation Team 1 find themselves in that next round. You know, all going to be sitting around 4 to 4.5k is not conducive of having full utility, the grenades, or the AWPs. So it never really gets easier, even post-deco.
He's going to have a pretty fun anti-eco slaughter, I reckon, over here, but he does get overwhelmed, and Fang's going to be in the position maybe to mop things up. No. So only 2 apiece so far. PRT does have an AK to work with. Just trying to, I would say, save it into the next one.
It's kind of interesting how we're on this new map. you know, a lot of the other maps here have kind of optimized anti-eco plays that are usually pretty good for a couple of kills. We've seen a lot of just the old school, just like 5-man, all the boys sending it through today in EU and NA. Just the uninspired Holden W as a pack.
I think it's pretty inspired.
Maybe a pop flash if you're lucky.
Nah.
Nah, just dry.
Human flashbang, mate.
Golby Desert Peak.
Did you say Dobby?
Golby.
Who's the Dobby?
Oh my goodness, check your geography, mate.
The Dobby
You know what
Desert
flag that is for Marky over there? Do you know what map that is for Marky over there?
What about
The map. Where country is he from?
Mexico?
Congratulations, but you didn't sound certain about that.
I always get scared that I'm gonna get it wrong.
All right.
We do have a tech pause coming through for Team 1, so just tapping that router.
Turn it on and off again.
The classic tap doesn't work. You got to give it a couple of good hard hits.
The reboot.
I said hard hits, not stomping it.
We've already seen Goomba stomps in this match. It
True.
wouldn't surprise me that that's the route they take.
I mean, maybe they just get a little bit rowdy. When I used to make a little bit too much noise. Dad used to just
Look
take
at
the
Moy.
router. Dad used to just unplug the router, take it, and put it away in the drawer.
That's the parental power play.
Is this a new segment on the Esea Premier? Parental power play.
I don't understand the tech, so I'll confiscate it.
No, he definitely understood. He was a guild leader in World of Warcraft. Anyway, that's a side tangent for another time. Maluk, he's dived through middle straight into Donut. Now pressure on both extremities again. This seems to be the default dance for Extra Assault, but XNS ready for it. Finds his first kill of the game, and Pace is going to back him as well.
OC yet to frag, which is a bit of a surprise as one of the fragging powerhouses of Extra Assault.
I mean, yeah. You go look at the stats last 3 months. This guy's differential is nuts. So 0 for 6 is like foreign territory for the man.
No, I back Marky to actually get this entry. He's been pretty on point so far. Fang also, a couple of shots in as well. But still a 3-on-2. Make it a 1-on-3 now. And the bomb, unfortunately, all the way in B lobby. Means it's going to be a long rotation. Marky just going to explore the ruins. Take a bit of a sightseeing tour. See what he can find.
I don't think X and S checked that corner either, so they actually don't know that they had the bomb. He's actually just pushed all the way through too, so there is still a chance.
I mean, 1v3, the CTs are all chilling, and he's got to go retrieve the bomb, put it on the ground. 54 HP. Nope. XNS master plan comes in once again. AK not retrieved, unfortunately. Molb's still down on that MP9.
We've seen this. They're actually quite willing to go with the MP9.
Yeah.
MP9's not a bad weapon.
Some of these players make that look like a rifle. It just makes you sad that FAMAS is a thing when you see what an MP9 could do.
They've tried it with everything, haven't they? I mean, they made the MP9 crazy. They made the UMP crazy at one stage. They just gave no love to the FAMAS.
I miss the UMP, dude.
Lifestyles of the rich and the FAMAS. We're always complaining.
Well, money is not the problem in this case, apparently.
There's so many problems. You think we should solve them?
Oh, pace up. Beautiful.
He's robbed them.
Yep.
Also Maluk as well, getting involved. Just having that rifle over there in Donut. Very, very important for Team 1 to take a bit of a clean one over here. Need to get the money up and high. Sonic just looking to make this contact play work out. Looks like it's going to be the group up by OC and Sonic at the same time. Mob, so MP9 is going to be cleared. Nicely done by Sonic. Great entries coming out from Sonic. This is now an opportunity which Extra Salt need to seize.
We've seen Sonic do this so many times. Just step on that bomb site, open things up. He's paved the way for his team. The bomb isn't just there yet, though, so they just need to clear a few things out. They do. They step on Maluk before he can become a menace, and it's just on Pace here. Okay.
No.
They are unaware of his positioning. Pace is going to be the thorn in the side that they did not need. He has been dealt with, though. It's OC who has been stepped on by PRT, and, well, Pacer that smoke positioning, that push has paid off. We saw that yesterday as well. Some plays coming through the smoke. The chance is taken and the chance is given.
I mean, this game could really go either which way, to be honest. Hard to tell at this point. But if you're Extra Salt, you definitely wouldn't be wanting to play your first official on Ancient and go down into the lower bracket. But I guess if you have that extra life, at least it's not the worst case scenario.
Play your first official on Ancient, but also have it as your pick.
Big brain.
Very interesting that Team 1 actually have a much heavy emphasis over here at mid versus actually having an extra member at B. We've actually seen a lot of the European teams actually only have 2 members, like one playing a little bit further back at A, maybe near Shrine controlling Donut as well as A long, and the rest of the forces gathered up towards Cheetah. I digress, they're coming onto the B site right now, Jim.
This is where Sonic is best utilised as that entry. Going to make things happen though. He's traded out by Malbs, who's just holding onto the cave at the moment. And, well, Malbs is still good for it. Eventually silenced by Marky. They will get the bomb. And the time is starting to tick away here. Pacer again through the smoke. A bit of a smoke criminal himself as CTs. They're all just going to channel through the one lane. That's going to be good for OC though, as he takes 2. He will oblige and take the 3rd as well. And, well, the Galil proves its worth in that situation.
Yeah, hadn't put any frags on the board. Last couple of rounds, he's multi-fragged a few times. First time, didn't get the round on the board, but actually put enough economic pressure on Team 1 to where he multi-frags a 3k in this round with a Galil. Makes it look like a very dangerous weapon, and that's going to reset the money of Team 1, and this is a massive window for Extra Salt to step into here. The Force Buy comes out from Team 1, potentially an anti-Force into an anti-Eco could end Extra Salt up on, 8-5. If they're able to seize the opportunity.
Garcia has been spotted out as well. Nice couple of shots coming in from Marky as well as Maluk trying to challenge with a 5-7. Won't be able to pick off any more. And Pacer just pushing through is not going to expect Sonic in that corner as well. This has been a very clinical anti-force buy coming out from Extra Salt. Comes at a time that they need as well, just to make sure they've got enough cash coming into the final couple of rounds over here in their T-half.
Yeah, it's going to be a monstrous T-half. In saying that, though, I mean, it's only one game of data. So, you know, not really anything to draw conclusions from. But against Pain, majority of the rounds picked up by Team 1 were on the T side.
Even though it's a relatively small sample size.
The smallest.
Did you not hear the sarcasm?
My perception at this point is at an all-time low.
Alright, I'm just going to be blunt now.
I was going to say, I mean, you did kind of wake up in a stranger's bed this morning.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which one of us?
Both of us.
It's not how I remember things. My morning went a bit different to that.
I mean, something's got to give at this stage when you're doing some evening broadcasts.
Well,
just like the futon, they're going to fold out in mid.
The sunny side up advantage here for JT. Looking to scramble, not eggs this case, but a couple of CTs. But he's a little bit too far as a result. Does actually give the CT the peak as advantage. But it's just USPs at the end of the day.
Uh-oh. Had to turn around and swat a mosquito. JT does remove X and S, and Maluk may be able to retrieve something here. May be able to just pick the pockets with that AK.
Ooh.
Even better.
Or can he get out in time is a real question. Yes, he can. Back into B lobby.
Great sneak skill on this man. Love to see it.
But great rotation skill coming out from Sonic as well. Rotation on 100. He's a hunter for sure.
Gotta go fast, man.
Look at the pace of this man.
Yeah.
The pacer of this man?
Really putting them through their paces. The pacers.
Oh.
Okay, Byron coming in, but I mean, this is definitely not ideal for Team 1. But down at this stage, not much utility to play for, and only a scout in the hands of Maluk as well.
Yep. You're not wrong. Mid control coming out. Maluk's just sending it straight through mid with this scout. No respect being given. And it's very brave right now. Great catch from PRT. Topping about 30 HP. What's the go from Extra Salt? We're situated over towards that A side of the map, but now starting to regroup back towards middle. Mollying out that cubby position. Smoking off top mid. And they're going to take this mid control. As well as, you know, this really kind of reminds me of Dust 2 at the moment. The way that they're using this utility to take out mid and then they throw that triple smoke in towards A. Reminds me of the B site dynamic that you do have there.
PRT has assistance over here as Maluk does get picked off at Donut. Goes in for second helpings and unfortunately gets swatted away. Once again, Extra Salt is looking to punish the aggression that's coming out, and Molbs this time going to be the fatality. And now CT also going to be a dangerous threat. They're wrapping around from A side from all different angles. There's no chance here whatsoever for Team 1. As Extra Salt just prey on that XNS, he really hasn't had a chance to play the game so far as the P anchor.
This has been a brilliant T-side so far from Extra Salt. We know that the map has a slight CT bias, so based on that, having Extra Salt already won the round, or won the half, should I say, in terms of rounds, it's not a good omen for Team 1, but XNS does not live to fight another day as we head into the final round of the half. So that could have been gold for them taking that M4. They have it stripped from their hands, stripped from the economy. And it doesn't leave them with a lot of options here, Pilly. It doesn't leave them with much to do.
I mean, looking at the trends from last game as well as this game, it seems to me that Team 1, they start strong. They come in with a decent amount of energy, but Extra Salt in the long game seem to be the goods at the moment. Bit of a lackluster buy. Again, Team 1 going to try to take control of that A side of the map. Extra Salt waiting for some kind of pop flash play, just biding their time. More than happy to allow Team 1 to expend their utility and then roll in later for that map control.
They've done a good job though with that utility. They did a good deal of chip damage to Extra Salt. Hello.
Que ota. Say the line, Mitch.
Say the
when
line.
another deagle happens. You got to say it. Brazilian deagles.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they got that covered over on the Brazilian stream, which probably has like 15 times the viewers of us.
It's because you're
guys
not
go
saying the
hard,
line.
man.
That's why.
Oh, that's not a deagle, but Sonic getting his 1B on as well.
This is where Sonic does his best work. He's going to combine. No, but Malbs, they didn't check that corner. They were punished for it. OC has the line here, but just momentarily steps off it. It is non-consequential, though, as PRT with the CZ tries to make something of it. Has now only 33 seconds to work with. And it does switch to the Famous he's able to pick up, but that's non-consequential. It is the half Extra Salt with a strong T side to take things into the second.
Their economy running, they didn't really get the AWP in the hands of Maluk as well. But just even the fundamental way they were approaching it was getting picked apart by Team 1. There was no adaptation that you saw coming out on that CT side. Well, I want to ask those questions now to Extra Salt. They got the goods in terms of that CT.
Oh, they're heading in the direction of Sonic towards Cheetah here, and he's got the dualies. Raid Boss in prime position, just starting to line them up. Look at him multi-fragging on the dualies. A triple for Sonic in the pistol round is starting to shut this game down for Extra Salt. You love to see it.
Oh, dear me. That was poetry in motion, as now it's on Maluk. He's been quiet so far this map, but he's been silenced even further.
Oh, it's better than one pistol.
True.
It's a good position to be using it. I mean, I do remember seeing that dualies actually were given over to the apartments player occasion in the pistol rounds once that apartments bus became a little bit more meta on that T side. The CTs decided to counter it instead.
Certainly fell apart for them.
Absolutely.
Full save here. All the boys on Team 1.
I've got another thing that's fallen apart, and it's in the shape of a T, unfortunately. So, not ideal, obviously. This is not good omens.
Team
this
1
stage.
can't afford to fall apart on their T side, so...
Yeah, they're going to need some better joints.
I mean, this is clinical shutdown once again. I mean, I feel a bit bad for the Observer because it's just like that. 4 kills within a single second.
Jim, can you stop playing the triangle, please? Excuse me. I'm trying to do a cast here.
Look, I'm just signalling the boys home for dinner.
We got the cowbell going as well. Excellent. All right.
Into the serious part now. It's just Glocks over there, but Team 1, this is not many opportunities to convert these gun rounds.
Enough musical interludes.
Sometimes the prescription is more cowbell.
Mid control. Look at this from Extra Salt. Somewhat of a bonus with those 3 MP9s. They're just going to force their way into middle. Pacer already over here, though, wants to contest. Team 1 trying to pinch middle, and they're doing a decent job of getting the trades here, Kev.
But OC drops the bomb at lower mid, and Pacer needs to be careful with Cheetah. He knows that there could be definitely a threat that could swing out from here. PRT as well on a journey. This is so separated right now from Team 1. Lots of individual fights they need to win and take, but still at the end of the day, 2-on-2. Molbs trying to land the spray through the smoke.
Ooh, the timing. Top mid as well. That one goes in the favor of Team 1, but OC's going to find the pick over there towards top mid. I was keeping an eye on that duel. Bomb recovered here for Molbs, who's going to get on his horse over towards the A site. Meanwhile, OC gambling B. He's made the wrong call.
And just going to yin and yang on the mini-map. Totally different directions they took that.
That's chill. Cute little shrine for Molbs. Just to pull himself together for a second before he makes his way on towards that A site. Smoking off Donut. That's going to be a tell for OC to start to make an extra little bit of a rotation.
And Molbs just going to get aggressive into CT spawn. Most likely clear it out and then play from Shrine. No, see a lot of different angles that he needs to cover as well, but he does have the smoking kit to play with.
And first of all, needs to just check a few angles before he decides on his path, but that is completely obliterated by Malbs. It's a great round, one that was much needed for Team 1 in the context of this match. So I think it was critical in the later stages of this round that Sonic stayed alive because he really did cut the rotation from the tees off, but he couldn't do so.
Chaotic. After all said and done, though, with only one surviving for Team 1 and the full reinvestment from Extra Salt, this is going to be a swing round. If Extra Salt secure it, they're potentially going up to 13, 14 rounds and getting very close to closing this game out, which means that Team 1, they need to secure this one, and an airstrike onto Pacer to start things off is not the start Team 1 we're looking for here, Jim.
No, he has just taken 2 big shots to the dome with those grenades, and now trying to face off here as OC does find the frag, but this is just starting to fall apart here for Team 1. As Malbs is there on the edge of that smoke, just waiting things out, but the focus from Extra Salt is actually back towards Cheetah here as they can just cut the rotation from the rest of the T side off.
Pacer can't really take this fight as well. He's tagged down low. No assistance, unfortunately, for him. Molbs needs to make a bit of an individual play right now. Needs to try to find a bit of a sweet timing into the site.
Just going to smoke off Cheetah. Try to forego this setup. 2 South Africans working in tandem over there towards Cheetah. JT's going to find a great timing on Molbs, who was trying to get cheeky, trying to creep his way onto the site, and that was the most forward position T. Now the rest of them going to be a little bit behind the 8 ball, trying to make up for lost time here, Jim.
They had that info though, so they moved on the back of that towards B. Smoke is good, so they will be able to get the plant. It's just going to allow Extra Salt to regroup. They're going to have some utility to work with, but not a whole heap. 2 smokes and a flash to signal their retake, so they're going to have to get a wriggle on because I do not see a kit there. As Sonic does find the first, so time is ticking here for Maluk and PRT as they are going to step swing wide. Maluk is flattened, and it's now on PRT. He's got too many angles to deal with, and Extra Salt find that crucial swing round.
Oh, that's crushing for Team 1. We're already looking towards a third at this point. At least the bomb plant does come down, which will afford them maybe a little bit of investment, a couple of deagles or something like that, but past that, very little room for error. And how the turntables, my friends. The opposite of this in the last map. Team 1 were the ones that were very far ahead.
Every time Kev referenced Temple, or Mac referenced Temple, I said yesterday, but don't call me Shirley. And they just blanked me.
No, I don't get it either.
Okay, never mind.
That's how ancient you are, mate, so don't take it personally.
You're just being a bit of a donut at this point.
Oh, that's a nice little opener. So it's from Mobs, and hang on a second, the Deagles. Trade doesn't really come in time. I mean, if they had more numbers up over here, could have, I guess, added extra pressure right now onto this B site. You can see Fang trying to pick off Maluk, who decides to go for the plant. Mobs needs to convert this kill, but Fang's just a little bit too sharp on the turn. So a glimmer of hope shut down very quickly.
Yeah, that was ugly for Mobs. Just couldn't control that recoil for the Deagle. Lands that, though, and he does make the retake difficult because his position had to be, I guess, directly addressed by extra salt.
Oh.
Is this something not what I'm thinking of?
No.
When you're saying that reference, no.
No. How the turntables is from The Office.
Okay.
And so is But Don't Call Me Shirley.
I thought that was from Airplane. I'm the ancient one! Oh no!
You've just seen it on Netflix, haven't you?
No.
Oh, look at this aggression.
It's a very old one,
Look
but
at
yes,
this aggression
aggression.
on the CT side. Extra salt, the two-man setup over here. Marky and JT trying to get aggressive, and they're punished straight away. Fang's going to trade 2 back, though, and that's the bomb drop. He's got full control of it here, Kev.
Yep, and I mean, he does go down, though, which means it gives a little bit of extra time for extra salt to get the rotations over. Mold, see if he can peer into Temple right now. But OC going to come out, barely misses the shot, but he calibrates onto Molbs at the boost. It's going to buy some extra time for Sonic to come out for a donut. This is a recipe for success for the CTs. PRT tag down low. You have to cross over here to plant. There's no smokes really to cover off at this stage. XNS has to put his body on the line, but he looks away just at the worst time. PRT low, and Sonic swings to clean things up. Extra salt. 9 map points to bring us onto the decider.
That is a very, very tough cliff to scale for Team 1. We haven't seen anything super convincing from them on the T side either. They had their chance on the CT side, but they were swiftly and silently dealt with. But this is where Extra Salt can show us that they're not going to let things bleed out, much like Team 1 did on Dust 2.
Fast onto the B side over here. XNS trying to pick up the pace at this stage and somehow manages to flick onto JT. Sonic just anchoring down Ruins though, and OC able to rotate in time with the rest of the forces. PRT needs to make this impact felt. He's going to swing forward, but OC just so quick on the flick. He's pushing forward. He wants more. And what is that from Pacey? He tries to retrieve a better rifle, doesn't realize OC's persisting forward. But at the end of the day, that is convincing from Extra Salt on their map pick of Ancient. We are going all the way to Nuke to determine which side is the better one.